Hello, I'm Andrew Kotzur. Today I'd like to give a few tips into managing your grain storage systems. As a general rule, silos should only be fumigated when they're nearly full. The reason for this is that we have a headspace on top of the grain which becomes very volatile as temperature and air pressures change. If we have too great a headspace, the air will be expelled through the relief valve, or fresh air will be sucked in when the air contracts. This has the effect of diluting the fumigation or the fumigant gas below the minimum levels required for an effective fumigation. We often get asked about fumigating partially filled silos. What we'd ask is that you give our sales staff a call just to walk you through that process before attempting to do the fumigation of a partially filled silo. Oil bath relief valve maintenance is really important. You can see on these relief valves that the oil is level with the middle line on the valves. That means it's filled to the right level. We don't want the relief valves overfilled because that will mean that the pressures inside the silo exceed the design pressure of the silo before the relief valve works. And we don't want the oil level too low in the relief valve, otherwise we're seeing air exchange between the silo and the outside atmosphere, which will dilute fumigant and result in a poor fumigation. Another thing to look at for the relief valve is if a partially filled silo has been sealed up, you'll often find the relief valves have been working pretty hard and the oil in the relief valve has been bubbling violently. This can often be seen with some oil blowing out onto the ground, or it could be that the oil is moved between relief valves so the two sides are at different levels. If we see that, it's important to make sure the relief valves are filled back up to the right level and oil taken out of the relief valve if they're over full. The grade of oil that we put in the relief valves is quite important. We generally use a light grade hydraulic oil, which is a pure mineral oil. We don't want any synthetic additives because that will affect the relief valve moulding. We also need to make sure we don't use something like a vegetable oil, which will freeze and solidify at low temperatures, because if that happens, your relief valve won't work as the air in the silo is contracting. The grade of oil is usually about a 15 to 20 grade hydraulic oil. You can also use a straight automatic transmission fluid.